Welcome back everyone to another process video. More pictures, surprise, surprise, from New York. Still doing 6x8 pocket pages. This one is a 2-page spread. The last one I just did was a 1-pager. This one is 2. I pretty much have it laid out, I think. I'm going to go with these 3 pictures in this formation, 1 card up here, and I liked this one because it has red in it. And as you'll notice, these are pictures from just inside the main area of the New York City Public Library. And you can see they had their Christmas decorations up already, and there's a little bit of red in there. You can kind of see some ornaments and the lights, and then a little bit again right in here, some little bows and things. And then here in this one, it's kind of hard to see, but there is a red bow right there on this wreath around the line out front. And so I figured it's kind of got a holiday feel to it, and I'm not a big holiday Christmas person. I don't celebrate the religious part of it, but I like the decorations, and so I thought, all right, let's see what I can do with that. I do have some holiday type elements that I bought as a digital kit, digital files, and have printed them out. So I'm going to pull some of that and see if any of that will work here. And then I have a dilemma kind of with this pocket here. I have 2 cards that I have picked out that I think might work. This is one of them. I like this one because it says New York, New York, and then it has the newspaper kind of subtly in the background here. I like that because it is a library, and so I thought, well, a newspaper and the written word and information would certainly be appropriate here. So that's one option, and I could maybe stamp in red or green and do a label or something. So I have that. And then this is the other one. It actually says I Heart New York, and then it has one little spot that's in red. So it certainly would work, with the red that's over here and the little pops of red around. But I wasn't sure how I felt with the fact that that's all it says. I'm drawn to the newspaper one because of the library element, but I'm wondering if I should go with the red simply because it needs some color here. So I think a lot depends on what I pull from the elements that I have, and maybe some, word stickers or phrase labels or something. So I think a lot of it's going to depend on that. So I may not decide on this until the very last thing. I might do everything else first and then see which of these 2 work best with all the other stuff. So one of the things I did when I was off camera is I decided to switch up the placement of the photos on this side. I didn't like having the 2 photos that really showed the decorations next to each other. So I put those in opposite corners here, and then I moved this one down to this corner. I left this one here. This guy didn't change, so he's still there. I think I'm going to start with this one. There's a lot of dead space, and I want to figure out something that will work to cover up these random people over here, hopefully. I don't mind this, but this is kind of distracting in this corner, and then here's a little bit of decoration right here that you can barely see, but there's this beautiful, archway. And so I think I need to do something there to kind of get rid of this so that this is more highlighted, and then bring in more of that holiday feel. For this photo down here, I've decided I'm going to use, this is one of the digital elements that I bought from a kit. I believe it's from In a Creative Bubble. So I have this one. I think I'm going to put it down here to at least cover up part of this, and then these 2 guys, it might end up covering a little bit of this as well, but that's okay. But somewhere down here, I'm going to put this on there, and I'll hang it over the edge, and I'll just cut off the extra so that I at least get a little bit of that. And then I have this little epoxy pennant, and I actually made this with a tool from Epiphany Crafts. I don't think they're in business anymore. I tried searching for them to get more of these epoxy things, and I can't find it anywhere. So either they changed their name, they're out of business, or something happened. But I had this ready-made in a big, plastic bag of these, and this one works. It's got some red. So I think I'm going to put that right up here. Then I get the red and the green. It brings in all of this, plus whatever ends up being over here. So I'm going to do that right now. Let's move these out of the way here. So here's our photo. And then I've got to get this down here. make sure I have it going the right way. Okay. So I don't want to put adhesive, you know, towards the bottom part because that's what's going to be hanging off the edge. There we go. So then I have to figure out placements. I want it a little bit more to the right to cover up some of this. So if I do that, I think that'll work. It covers up most of the people here, a little bit here. That's not too distracting. There we go. And then I will just cut off the excess that hangs over the edge. And in case you haven't noticed from all my videos here, I kind of like having elements that are like this, where they hang off the edge a little bit. It tricks the eye and the mind into thinking, oh, you know, the rest of it would be there normally. So it kind of is, it works from an aesthetic point of view too, I think. So there we go. And I think I'm going to put in a staple again since I've been doing that a lot. There we go. And then I have to put this on. Now when I adhere these, because this is just cardstock, or not even cardstock, it's pattern paper under here, it's pretty thin. I tend to just adhere those with glue dots. If anybody else still has that Epiphany Crafts tool and you have some of these made and just sitting around, or you're still actively doing it because you have enough of the epoxy items left, let me know how you do it. I mean, I suppose I could use like this, the mono glue, but I'm worried that it would almost warp this paper in back a little bit because of the liquid factor. But I haven't tried it. I don't think anyway that I remember, so let me know. So I just tend to go with the glue dot. One should do it. That's all I use. And then I want it to kind of offset this. So I think I'm going to go right up to the edge, but more on the left-hand side there. Yeah, like that. All right, just press it in place, make sure it's really on there. And that photo is done. For my line over here, I did find this phrase, like nowhere else. And I thought that was appropriate because that's one of the iconic things about the New York City Library is the lions out front. Lots of people want to go and take photos. I saw tons of tourists having their photo taken in front of it. I didn't need that, but I did want a picture at least of one of them, so I got that. And I think to bring in that red, I'm just going to take this and put it up here. So that's a pretty easy way to bring in some of that color. Doesn't take much just to stick one of those on your photo. So maybe right about there. Yeah. And again with the staples. There we go. That's it. That's a really simple one. Okay, so as I'm looking at these, I don't want to do anything else to this. It's busy enough as it is. I feel like there's dead space down here, and I do have somebody's head in the way, but I think it would be too much to put something over here. Just as an example, let's put something there. Yeah, I think it makes it too heavy along the bottom. If I put it on this side, it's a little better, but then it doesn't fix this problem. Up here, nope, too much red on top. So see, something like that isn't going to work. So I think maybe I'll leave that alone. And now I'm debating because there's kind of these lights, you know, and there's some gold hues there from the candles and things, that maybe I'll do a little gold Heidi shine on this card, and then I'll bring in some of that. And maybe on the one that I picked to go over here. We'll see. But now I have to do that, don't I? All right, let's get it over with. So here are my choices again. So let's look at how this appears with the other finished photos. If the camera would focus. I don't understand why sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. There we go. That's at least a little better, right? Okay, so there's that one. And then this one. Okay, now when I see all this together, I think it has to be this one because of that red. It helps bring in all of this. So Sorry, newspaper, I'll use you some other way. It's going to be this one. There. And I think if I put a little gold Heidi Shine on there, as Adele would say, that will balance out these two in the opposite corners. So that's up next. So I did my gold Heidi Shine on here. You can see it just a little bit, around the edges. I think that helps, just to make it a little sparkly. And then same here, just, a little bit here and there. And then I will journal something down here. I don't know what exactly, but I will journal something. So that will be there as well. But otherwise, I think this one is done. And I normally put it in the page protector, but I'm not going to do that this time, I think, because we spent quite a bit of time just looking at putting everything together. So there it is. Another one done. Yay, I'm making progress. Thanks for watching, everybody.